I'm
Celebrate?
good. Sorry, I'm in my car driving, so
Oh, no worries.
No, that's okay.
We're go- I will. We'll attempt the camera thing again. There we go.
Yes.
yeah,
All
I
right.
won't do it this time though because it will be weird.
All right. Go ahead and Twitch. What do you got? What do you got? Twitch me up. Are we twitching?
We're twitching.
All right. Hey Twitch. How's everybody doing? We are getting ready to do our inaugural live Twitch cast of the Legend of the Traveling Tardis, and we're getting our callers online. So this is all like behind the scenes, just like extra footage of the show, which you can catch on Krypton Radio Saturday mornings or on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, radio.com. Christian, did I leave anything off? Where can they go
Where can they go to get
to get the Legend of
Leg-
the Traveling, to more Legend of the Traveling TARDIS? Now they've seen
well,
behind
they
the
could
scenes.
probably Google the whole thing. The Legends Traveling TARDIS, iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, radio.com. And then
Awesome.
you could probably Google it, and don't forget the social media. We also are on Twitter, Instagram, and definitely Facebook.
There you go. Awesome, guys. So if you're listening on the Twitch stream right now,
Yes. Well, sort of.
um,
No.
then
And if you're not,
Speaker one.
if you're not, then you'll be
Sure.
listening to the radio show this weekend. So at any rate, we are here in the studio, and Dina, how you doing over there?
Yeah.
We're doing good.
Awesome. Very good.
Yes.
That's supposed to be there.
Okay, I know, but you can't see.
We can't see Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Oh. Oh, well then
So
let's fix that then.
so tell us about this Twitch thing. I mean, I just want to know more and what's going on over here.
Yeah. Okay. So those of you on Twitch, and for all of our guests and panelists on the show, know Twitch is a live video social media platform that allows our viewers and listeners to interact with us in a chat room. And the link we provided to you guys in your Facebook message, so you guys can check that out and follow the chat. Oh no! What happened?
Okay, what's all the cackling?
Uh-oh.
Mackenzie, I just looked up for a second, like, what part of Nisha was I just staring at that
Oh my. Okay, let me fix that video.
Thank you.
Oh, there goes
You
Nisha.
were staring
Okay.
at my car. I told you I put my
That
phone
was-
down.
No,
Your
that's
car
okay.
is pink and it has flowers on it.
Oh, that's my shirt sleeve.
Yeah, that's what I just looked up and I saw
See?
pink shirt and movement. I'm like,
This is what bonus content is all about.
That's
Just
right.
saying.
It happened the way you're positioned. It looked like we were looking at your butts.
Yeah, I did think that.
No, it was my
Mackenzie
sleeve.
said it,
Thank
not
you.
me.
Well,
So
where'd you go,
I just
Nisha?
looked
You
up and-
turned your camera off.
Okay, guys.
It is. It's
Oh,
all-
that's fantastic.
Okay, great. So
Much
we
better.
had to make some adjustments to the video over here. So out there on the Twitch, this is a social media platform where people can come and watch us live in the background and see us giggle and cackle and otherwise have a good time. So that's what Twitch is all about, and it is an opportunity for us to reach a little bit larger audience and to interact with them a little bit more. If you're following the Twitch screen on your computer or on your tablet or iPhone or Android or whatever, you can be a part of the chat and you can take take questions and things like that. So it's going to be a little more interactive. It's like Facebook Live, only it's its own self-contained platform, and so it's going to afford us an opportunity to do a lot of cool things. So
Yes, I
Can
think
they
I will.
actually
Look
see
at
me
that.
right now?
Yes.
yes, and so
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
And so can
the
43
internet.
others.
So can the internet.
43 others.
Yes. According to that, total views 43.
Okay, we'll take it.
Sweet.
Awesome.
We're
So
only
big.
missing one person so far.
Who's
Who
missing?
are we missing?
Jessica.
Luckily, I'm wearing pants.
Oh, she's calling in
I
right at
actually-
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually watch a show, a Dungeons and Dragons show on Twitch.
Oh,
So-
awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
See, yeah. So it's a great little
I watch
platform.
Critical Role, so
Yeah, it's going to allow us to do some cool things. And like I said, it's kind of bonus content. It's behind the scenes. You get to see the studio working. You get to see you guys and calling in, and get to watch us giggle and be silly doing commercial breaks and everything else. And it's a limited time, so the Twitch feed will stop being available probably on Friday. We're going to try to keep them limited to a couple of days, and then they'll have to go and get the podcast and get the show in order to find out what we talked about and everything again. Or they can watch us live and interact. So it's up to them. But it's another platform, and The Hanging with Bub shows will be, we're going to try to stream our podcast recording sessions on Twitch, and then we're going to be using Facebook Live almost exclusively for news content, which will be like when we're at an event or a convention or someplace like that. So we'll be using different platforms for different things. So we'll get people to go to all the different platforms.
Yes.
And do all the things in
all
all the
of
places.
the different things
All
and
of the
all
things
of the
in
places.
all of the places.
Yes, all
Yes.
of the places.
So, welcome to the inaugural Twitch stream of The Legend of the Traveling Tardis. You get to be the guinea pig, Christian.
I'm glad I'm not in my down shirt. You know.
That's right. No. This is Wednesday or Tuesday.
It is
This
Tuesday.
It's
It is
Tuesday, Christian.
Tuesday.
This is not hashtag No Pants Friday.
Correct.
This is Tuesday.
Yes.
Must have pants Tuesday.
I think No Pants Friday should be every day of the week,
Ah,
but that's
no.
another story.
No,
But
we're-
no, I just literally got off work, and you're looking at me probably disheveled and everything. So that's how I look, because I've got 15 minutes literally to go from work from home to the studio and do this.
So this is
And it's like,
the we get the well. The good news is, Christian, I don't know if you can see what your video is coming out. You are so close to the computer that we are looking at you like way up close. So
that, yeah.
we can
Yeah.
literally.
It's
you
not
know,
scary at all.
please-
It's fine.
No.
Yeah, so we're getting like the really close up Christian view. So that's awesome, and everybody else looks fantastic too.
Yes.
We had.
I know. I look fantastic because you can't see me.
I know, we see your shirt.
we had a nice shirt shot there, and then bam,
Got a shirt
gone.
shot.
What are we doing?
Sir.
What is Christian? Did you just move your camera upside down or something? Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for those faces.
Thank you for that.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. And so yeah, we are guys. We are the Hanging with Web Show family of shows. Tonight is the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. You can see it over on your screen. You can actually see the Legend of the Traveling Tardis and the Legends logo, and which is great. You can also see the Spreaker studio that Dina's going to run here very shortly as soon as we get all the panelists online. So this is should be a lot of fun.
I'm
Speaking
having
of
fun
which,
already.
Jessica, give me back my son. Where? Oh, she's not on yet. Yeah, she took him to Pensacon.
I saw that.
Patty Hawkins sent me pictures going, guess what? What I found. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, we saw that the TARDIS was
grab the
making his
pens-
rounds.
Yes.
Oh.
Really good shots. Thank you, Jessica, if you can hear me.
Uh,
So the episode today is going to be, first of all, for those of you on Twitch, welcome. Thank you for joining us there. See Mackenzie on here. And who else is coming? I think we got Jessica and we got Nisha. And we're going to be talking, since we're going into convention season, and quite a few people have actually asked me, Christian, what do you bring to conventions? I thought we would actually have a Whovians guide to the convention galaxy that we are going to assemble together, all of us. We're going to have a top 10 list of things. I've actually have 8 items, but I'm going to we're going to all be having a consensus on what the top 10 items are. And so you guys can go, I'm going to say something, and everybody else is going to say, Christian, that's utter crap, or Christian, yeah, let's lock that in. And I will be posting the results on our Facebook page once we get the episode out there of our top 10 list. And we're also going to be talking about our adventures in Convention World, be it good stuff or be it bad stuff. Probably some advice to go along the way. And I know a lot of people have been asking, because I will say this on the show a little bit later. If you can imagine, the best way to think about going to a convention is like going to a theme park. The plan for a theme park.
Christian jumped into a roller coaster.
I think
I think that's Nisha.
I think Nisha ran him over.
That's the,
Oh.
Yeah.
Nisha, is the window down?
Yes, it is.
Woohoo!
Okay. That's it.
Nisha's
Mackenzie, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
was fantastic,
Mackenzie's
yeah.
got the whole roller coaster action going. So hey, welcome to the show.
Me?
If you've been
Did you-
wondering what it's like before the show, this
There
is
you go.
that.
You roll
And in
your
some
window
cases
up.
during the show. We have.
Want me to share that? Share this on our page?
Yes, please, and on the Traveling Tardis page too.
Okay.
Please.
I'll pop over there real quick.
That's right.
Now, this entire episode so far is the epitome of the convention scene. There you go.
That's right. This is it.
Right.
Yeah.
We always try out new stuff.
We just need a fire alarm. Does anybody have a sound effect for the fire alarm?
Oh
That
my
would-
god.
No, I think we have a submarine alarm though.
Oh, Sage, you were asking about that recording that I asked if you could
I got it.
play. That is your way of telling us we need to wrap it up on the show.
Oh, so that's
So if we get down to
Oh,
like
do you hear
2 or
that,
3
Dina?
minutes,
That's how
that
you.
is your way of saying wrap it up without actually saying wrap it up. So you don't even have to send us anything.
So when
cool.
I start
via-
playing
I'll still
it, you
send it
know
to
you
you.
have like 2 minutes left,
Yes.
Like,
or do
yeah.
you want that at the 5-minute mark?
No, let's make it the 3-minute mark because it literally is supposed to be.
He just made that shit up. He really did. He made that up just so he could say, okay, not 5, but not 2.
but
Let's do it at 3 in the
3.
middle.
Well, I got 4 people. That's about a little less than a minute for each person to wrap it up because it's supposed to be saying, "I just want to let you know before I go, you were fantastic."
So
And
that
that's
means I
supposed
can
to be our
interrupt you?
before I go segment. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay.
You can't do it 14 minutes in. You
No,
have
I
to
know.
wait.
No.
Yes.
You can't do it every time, Dina.
No, Nina's going to do it every 5 seconds. It's
Every 5 seconds.
boy,
Bloop.
Anytime I talk, she's going to put it on.
Wow.
All right,
That's-
just so you know, we have 3 commercial breaks. The first
Okay.
and the third have 4. The middle one has, well, technically 4 with a 12-minute Dr. Velocity in the middle.
12 minutes or 12 seconds?
12 seconds,
I think
excuse me.
yes. Yes, that would be kind of crazy.
Now you're just making stuff up.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Nisha's like,
Can you roll up your window or whatnot?
Oh, sure. Well, actually, they are up. I'll just put it on mute when you guys are, when I'm not talking.
aha.
Mackenzie, are you available this Saturday?
I
You-
am.
You're going to be there for both recordings?
I can do both.
Okay. Two of our
Alright.
favorite people.
All right, it's 6 o'clock.
Is Jessica around?
Jessica's not in yet.
Okay, let me
Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Don't forget to tweet that, too.
I can do that.
Yes.
Sure. Why not?
Yes, so we are in the studio, guys. If you're watching on Twitch, we are in the studio. We are getting ready to do the weekly recording of Christian Basil and the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. And we've got some great guests lined up. And this is our inaugural Twitch cast.
How fun.
Christian is the
And,
official
Yeah.
Guinea pig.
guinea pig.
Although I say that I look like a bad cashier, and everybody's looking at me like he's looking at his cell phone again.
Yeah, well, that's okay. This is all behind the scenes. You guys get to see what
There you
goes
go.
into the show, except for the part where we set up and plugged everything in and did all those things, which you didn't get to see because, well, we weren't online yet. Now we are.
Yes, now we are.
That's right.
And so I don't see you guys.
You don't see us because we have to, for Skype, we have to choose one camera. And so you
okay.
get to see Dina. On the Twitch stream, we have Sage and I on one camera, Dina's on another camera, and you guys are the big thing in the background. And then if they're watching Twitch, then they're wondering why I'm describing all this. But there's also the Legends of the Traveling Tardis photo Facebook square. And then, panel via Skype and a Skype window. So there's a lot going on their Twitch screen right now. They're seeing everybody all around the recording session.
Universe.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Yes, the whole universe. And then they also have a sneak peek. They can actually watch Dina work on the control panel because they have a little tiny control panel up in the corner that they can see as she pushes the opening credits and so they can actually watch. This is a real in-depth behind-the-scenes
Wow.
look at what we're doing, which is kind of cool. And we got a couple of viewers. We got they're coming in and out, so that's
Yes.
kind of cool.
Well,
Put
and
on
I'll-
your 3D glasses.
There you
to
go.
figure out what all these little buttons and things
I
mean.
don't
So.
have any 3D glasses. That's gonna be stinky.
But
Okay.
yeah.
How much time do you want to give Jess? Otherwise,
I was gonna
we'll-
give her
we'll-
until 5 after, and then we can get started,
That's fine.
which is in about
Alright.
3 minutes.
Mackenzie. Holy cats.
Mackenzie and Christian are on the,
Hamming it up.
hamming it up on the video call,
It's fun.
and
I don't have a cat crawling all over.
he's got a cat crawling. Is that what he said? A cat?
Yeah, she's got a.
Yeah.
She's got a
Oh yeah, Mackenzie's cat.
Oh, Mackenzie's cat is
Mackenzie's
there.
cat.
Oh, okay, there she goes.
The whole time I should have this.
Oh, there we go.
Oh wait, let's get Angry Brows. There we go.
Oh, look,
There.
cats are
Attack Brows the whole
the leaders
time.
of the internet.
Did somebody shoot?
Is that a? What is that? Is that a Funko Pop?
Yeah. That's Capaldi. You can tell the
Oh,
angry-
Jessica.
Hey, hi
Jessica.
Jessica.
There
How
we-
are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Fantastic.
We need you to turn your
Put on your
video
camera.
on.
If you can, yeah.
If you can, that'd be good. We'll let the world see you.
Yeah. But please make sure you're dressed, because the world will see you.
Yes.
What just happened? What?
We are twitching.
We're twitching.
We're twitching.
Is that
Are
a thing?
we videoing?
We are.
We are.
Alive.
Yeah, we're doing all kinds of fun experimental things.
That we are.
Oh, cool.
We are twitching. and
Add some
experimenting.
fun elements to the show.
So we're just waiting. We're just waiting to see your pretty face.
Let me figure out.
This is kind of cool. Are we like
Entertaining.
frozen over there?
No, we're moving.
Oh, okay. I'm like waving to the camera. Hi.
Oh.
So this is
Hi,
this is
Twitch.
going to be a thing from now on. Every episode, I have to get dressed.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes, it is.
Well, actually, given
Oh,
where
no.
your camera is, you may not have to get dressed, but you do need to, you might want to
Yes, you might want to have a shirt
throw
on.
some mousse in the hair or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe put Capaldi doll on your head. That would be,
There you go.
something
There
like that.
we go.
Yeah.
Oh, see there.
Oh, there we go. I just wait. Okay, so
Right.
we have what, about 20-second lag before
Yeah,
it hits
something
the
like that,
Twitch
yeah.
stream. That's nice. Okay. So Twitch, we're experimenting with you. If you're watching this on Twitch, you are our guinea pig audience.
There she is. Hello, Miss Jessica.
Oh, there we
okay.
go.
Hello, Miss Jessica. How are you?
I am good.
Very cool. If you look in your Facebook stream, you'll see the Twitch link as well. If you have an extra device or whatever, and you want to keep an eye on the chat or whatever,
Oh, yes.
so people can ask us questions and they can do those interactive,
Yes.
cool things.
Eventually, we will have
Hi,
more.
there she is. I can see her now
interactions.
on Twitch.
Hi.
She popped up on Twitch just now.
Jessica, give me back my son.
That's right, Jessica Womack,
I
World Wide Web,
promise.
What do you
World Wide
want?
Web. This is Jessica.
Oh.
It's so bad
She's
he
here.
got a hold of him, I'm sure.
Outstanding. And
Oh, okay, I got you.
all right,
Not
so
correct.
All right.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
not in the merchandise
I am.
facility.
very cool.
Not
And
at all. I'm trying to zoom in so you can't see.
Where are you?
where
Where are you?
She's in her basement.
I'm on lunch in a stock room.
Oh.
Oh, okay then.
Okay.
And
let's
if
do this.
so, Twitch, if you don't know it, you can see what's on sale where Jessica is right now. So
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Does not include Jessica. Let's go.
I'm trying to hide the stuff. You can't see anything now, right?
No, not
No,
really,
no product
that's right.
placement.
Dina. That's like right in front of the camera, so that's really awesome.
That's okay. They can
That's
see
okay.
that.
4 cameras per.
4 commercials, dear.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Okay, good deal. So, guys, we're gonna let Dina do her normal thing and just try to pretend like the whole world isn't watching you, but they might be.
All right. Are you ready, Christian?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
do
Here,
it.
here we go.
Put that away.
From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hangin' With Web Show, it's the legend of the traveling Tardis. Look inside and behind the scenes to one of the most enduring and beloved sci-fi worlds. Step inside the door to a world that's bigger, brighter, and beyond imagination. As you become a part of the legend of the traveling Tardis. And now, your host, Christian Basil.
And welcome Welcome back, fellow Whovians, to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We've landed safely again. My name is Christian Basil. I am the host of this Traveling TARDIS radio show you're probably listening to on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you hear in the Hooniverse. Thank you for joining us once again. So we're on Twitch.
Yeah.
Some of you are actually seeing us for the first time, and that's a scary thought because I didn't know, so I'm still wearing my outfit from earlier today. But for those of you just joining us on Twitch, welcome. Thank you, and thank you for watching us. Today's episode is a little different because I've been getting a lot of questions and requests about conventions. But before we start on our topic, I want to introduce who's going to be helping me today. First off, returning back fresh from Pensacon is the lovely Swan Song Cosplay. She nodded her head in agreement. Song Swan. I got it? Did I get it?
You flipped it. Song.
Oh, God. Song Swan Cosplay. Jessica Novak. How you doing, Jessica? How was Pensacon?
It was fun. It was definitely small and a very long drive. But it was
8 hours,
it
I
was
think.
fun. Yeah, 6 both ways.
6 both ways.
Yeah. Whew. So 12
5.
total.
5 if the cops aren't around.
Yeah, very true.
I think that was
Who's driving.
Exactly. It was a George Carlin joke. If cops didn't see it, I didn't do it. So, welcome back, author Mackenzie Floor.
Hello.
Mackenzie, welcome back. How? What book are you writing recently? What are you working on these days?
I'm writing the second book to the Right or Wrong series called The Rite of Abnegation. And for fans of Orlin and Mirta, there's a lot of them.
Cool beans. And Nisha, are you on the line? I'm hoping she is.
Hello.
There we go. Of course, our good friend from Diversely Geek, Nisha Mulchin. Hey, Nisha, how you doing?
I am doing great, thank you.
Ladies,
Sorry for the extraneous noise around me.
Oh, that's okay. Whatever you do on your side of the Hooniverse is your business, and we'll leave it at that. So, ladies, welcome there. Thank you for coming back. And I'm also going to be introducing my Hanging with Web Show team to help us out on this one. I'm talking about Garrett, I'm talking about Sage, and I'm talking about Dina, just in case they want to chime in too, because this has a lot to do with conventions. The question that came up a lot that I'm getting through PMs and just people on random, since the convention world is getting started again, Christian, what do I need to bring or do when I get to conventions? We're going to tell you a bit of our experiences. We're actually going to formulate a top 10 list for all you Whovians out there. Now, I have 8 items on this list already. However, these girls are going to take and pick apart my list. If they don't like what they hear on my list, they can take it out. And I've left 2 spaces for them to add in unless they take out some of my things. So we're going to have 10 items for all of you Hooniverses, all you Whovians who may be going to conventions this time of year or whenever, just to give you some advice, some ideas about what it is to be happy, safe, and having a wonderful convention experience. Now, before we do that, as we always, we go to the Who Knew News with Sagia. Hit it! Oh, wait, Jessica, what is that on your head?
Mardi Gras beads.
That's beads.
Someone gave me a crown today, and it's Mardi Gras beads.
Okay, Sage, let's go back to the news.
Okay, let's go back to the news. I do have some sad news.
Oh.
Graham Curry
Yes.
died at the age of 54. He
that's
actually, he was very young. He wrote the 1988 Doctor Who story, The Happiness Patrol. And this story is unique in the Doctor Who stories because it was mentioned in the Archbishop of Canterbury's Easter sermon. Isn't that kind of an interesting note?
And if I'm not mistaken, in my Hooniverse thought, this was actually an episode that kind of took a pokey stick over at Margaret Thatcher at the time, Prime Minister. If anybody wants to correct me on that, but they did it so subtly.
You are absolutely correct.
And this was, and I think it's the first time ever the TARDIS is painted pink. I think that's right. I think that was the episode there, if I'm not mistaken there. But yeah, we're gonna miss you, Grandma. Rest in peace out there. Do anybody remember the Happiness Patrol? Did you guys ever see it there? What'd you think?
I didn't.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
Cricket.
I need to
cricket.
look it up.
I'm the only
because-
classic Who in here. I'll represent
I have
the
my
old.
specific classic Who stuff. Like
Same here.
Trial of a Time Lord is like my heart.
Trial
So
of the Time Lord.
I love it so much.
I do too. You actually, if you ever get a chance, and I'm sorry, we're going way off on a tangent. You should listen to Trial of the Valyard, which it has the original three cast members. It has Linda Buckingham. It has Michael Jason and the Sixth Doctor. And I'm not going to give you the spoiler, but I'm going to give you the premise, which is really going to entice people. Somebody's put on trial, and the Doctor has been hired to defend them. And lo and behold, it's the Valyard. Their roles have completely switched, and the Valyard is now on trial for his life, and his defender is the Sixth Doctor. You can just think about what Colin Baker is saying the whole time, that he's going like, wait, what? I'm here to defend the Valyard? Really? So, but Grandma, yeah, man, we're gonna miss you. Man, I'm glad you were part of the Hooniverse. You wrote a wonderful episode out there, and that it's gonna be part of my seventh Doctor mythos. What else we got in the news there?
Okay, this one's fun. As everybody should know, Red Nose Day is coming up Friday, March 15th, and
Okay.
Comic Relief is raising funds, right? All the funds raised for what I'm going to tell you is going to Comic Relief, and they're offering one lucky winner the chance to have a special private breakfast with Jodie Whittaker and companion Mandip Gill. So it's coffee and breakfast. Isn't that
You
kind
sure
of...
it's not
That's
a
awesome.
dinner? You sure it's not a dinner breakfast now?
No. That's not a dinner breakfast.
Now that everybody's shipping those two out, I'm like, what the heck are you talking about?
No,
Where
that's
did that
going to be
come from?
that's going to be an absolutely lot of fun. You have to be over 18 to enter, though. You can be under the age of 18, provided you're over 14 and you have a parent or guardian that says so. If you want to enter, you can go to the Doctor Who News website and look for the article, and then do the click here to enter, and you can get your chance to win breakfast, which is
Why
really
do I have
cool.
to be over 18?
You
I'm
qualify.
going to be with the Doctor and Yaz having breakfast. What could possibly go wrong that morning?
It's
Unless they
probably
really
sure
take me
they
to
don't
the
have to
doctor.
have a guardian with them, so you're not cheating the system.
That's right.
Oh, there
See,
we go. Gotcha.
that's
All
exactly right.
Well, I'm going to apply for that. I don't think I'm going to win. There was a Doctor Who breakfast with like all the doctors that were living or something like that. I remember a while back. Does anybody remember that contest? I think it
I
was like
remember that.
breakfast with all the doctors, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take a chance. But you had to, for you to have a better chance, there was like one tier that was like, oh, if you want to spend $1,000, you get 10,000 chances. I'm like, that's even in the tier.
Well, you can't have a chance if you don't enter at least once.
I know, but I'm like, 1,000 really? Oh, never mind. Anyway, what else is in the news there, Sage?
Okay, so I have some fun things. I found on Radio Times, right? The Daleks invade an English village to save a sci-fi museum.
Talk to me about this.
Okay,
I
so
think I remember.
so
I haven't
right,
read
so
it on- yeah.
normally a Dalek invasion of an English village is not a cause for celebration, but there's an
Mm-hmm.
art teacher. His name is Neil Cole. And there's a collection of toys and homemade models and posters and stickers and all kinds of fun stuff. It's scattered around a Northumberland village of Allendale. So the community came around because they were threatening to shut it down. They constructed the Dalek, him and his students. And they were going to do it, and the Dalek can't fit inside their home. So a lot of people come up to go ahead and visit when the museum is closed. So the neighbors have now come out in support with their own displays of Daleks, so that it can go ahead and stay open. They're calling it Alan Dalek. Yes.
I think this is the first time in history a Dalek has actually saved something, and we're all proud of it.
Yes.
So a Dalek invasion actually saved something.
That's it. Alan
That's
Dalek.
awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
Yes. So I thought that was a fun piece of news, and that is my quirky Who Knew news for this week.
Awesome. Well, folks, we got to pay some bills. When we get back, we are going to be talking about giving you some advice on our convention list. If you, we've actually asked a question on our Facebook page. If you have any advice for people who may be starting out in the conventions, or maybe just some advice that people haven't thought of, we're going to go over my list, and the girls are going to add on or take away from my stuff and add on some of their stuff. And we're going to tell you a little bit of our experiences when we return to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Stay tuned.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the
I'm on
way in
Twitch.
pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic
Jessica's
book,
back.
Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop
Yeah.
shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter,
killed my
just
battery,
type
so I
at
was, like, figuratively looking
FFF
for a
Comics.
plug.
Oh, no.
An exciting journey into the higher mysteries. Certified psychic medium and clairvoyant Jerry McDaniel's readings, writings, and messages have been received by thousands of people in more than 45 countries. These messages have been obtained by channeling his higher self. How does he do it? Is it a blessing or a curse? And what lay beyond the reach of your five senses? Channeling the Mothership. Explore the mysteries of the spiritual and the metaphysical. Channeling the Mothership by author Jerry McDaniel. Available
She can't see the
on
chat, so.
Amazon.com today.
From the imagination of author Kevin
Okay,
J.
so
Kessler, the Roseanne
Twitch can hear us
Dragons
now.
are no
Twitch can hear
more.
everything.
They have
Okay,
fallen
so
into
Twitch
the
can hear
obscurity
all of us
lore.
during the
Now
commercial breaks.
Warrior
But when this
Valentine
actually
Beret
goes
is
on to,
Fatima.
yes, they can hear all of us.
Magic
But when this goes on to
princess
iHeart
on
and whatever,
a
they
mission
don't
to
hear
save
any
They don't hear
of
any
this.
of that.
Okay.
It's just
But this is fun. So
Rigger
Twitch
only
can still hear
records.
us messing around.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's fun. Oh, okay.
It's like
Yes.
a behind the scenes.
In the
Yeah.
end,
It's like this
stronger,
deep,
the
you know,
man
background.
or the
Deep
dragon.
behind the scenes.
Find out
Only
That's-
my
Kevin J.
kids
Kessler's
can
The Roseanne
intervene here.
series
Only one
on
showed up, but I got more than
Amazon.com
one.
today.
If
It's
only we
Germany,
had Melanie
1938.
drinking something,
Charlotte
so we
is a
could
15-year-old girl
feature
living
what
in the Jewish quarter.
is being
George lives in the city
had.
proper.
Yes.
And enamored by Charlotte's charm and grace when she
Should we
wanders
put the
into his
explicit
cobbler
tag
shop.
now?
George decides right then and there that he is going to marry her. Follow along as this unlikely
us when it's
couple
time, Dee.
struggles to stay one step
After this
ahead of the
commercial.
Gestapo
All
in their
right.
dramatic escape from Nazi Germany. Good things always happen in springtime. From
Always.
author Joanne Fisher on Amazon.com today.
And we're back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS radio show. My name is Christian Basil. Everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining us. And for those of you joining us on Twitch, I am wearing pants.
They
That's all you need
know.
to know.
They know. They're all. We're getting messages. They're all so grateful.
They're also grateful there. We're being joined with Mackenzie Floor. We're also being joined by Nisha Mulchin and Jessica Womack of Song Swan Cosplay. I'm going to say that so I can remember this so she doesn't harass me about that. By the way, she still has my TARDIS from Pensacon. Yes, I'm going to stalk her until she gives me back my Give me back my son.
I
Anyway.
just borrowed her for a bit. It's fine.
You borrowed her?
Yeah, I have a key.
Oh, okay. I got to stop making duplicates. It's bad. Getting really bad. It's like the Doctor. Everybody's got a duplicate key to the TARDIS somewhere.
Yeah.
So, ladies, we are going to start putting together a list of what people who may not be familiar going conventions, what they should bring. We all have to agree to this list as far as my entries, and if you want to take out anything or put anything in, let me know. But I'm going to start off with the first one. The number one thing I think you should bring is moolah, money, and I would say a minimum of $50. Would that be something that we should be adding there? I'll take that all as a yes.
Yep, I think we all agree to
Yeah.
cash.
Bring this there. Okay, so that's one. Mackenzie, what would you add to that list?
For me, I would say it's no, you are going to get your autographs from and photos from, and specifically when they are scheduled.
So plan your day out. Have a day plan.
Yes.
Plan your day. Okay.
To go off that, one of my friends said to have it on a note on your phone so you're not constantly pulling out a piece of paper.
Mhm.
And that way it's always accessible and it's easier to figure it out. So, like, once you already have it planned, have it written down in a place that's easy to access.
Just-
Where does that
Yeah,
accent go?
I keep a note for every single con, my day by day, where everything is going to be and where I want to be. So I just
you'll-
go to my phone.
No, in fact, you know what? That's going to be my third entry, which was actually my second pick. Cell phones, but not only cell phone, have either a charger or a backup battery, or even both, to
Well,
have at the same time. Just because, yeah, you how long does a cell phone last at a convention? I would say the life of a cell phone lasts a convention for 10 minutes. Before you're sitting up against, how many people have you seen walking across the room and you're seeing them just sitting up against the wall and they're using every plug they could possibly find, and and their day is just borked because they.
Especially because convention centers suck the life out of them. There's never signal, and it just kills it.
You think there's a conspiracy that conventions just sit there and they just like they have this they actually power up the convention from your cell phone?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
interesting. And
Or a good Doctor Who episode. They steal the power from you and like reuse it.
Okay, you've been too much off it.
I hear a new episode coming on. That sounds pretty good. I like
There
it.
you go. There,
Right?
Go for it.
Nisha. What would you add to my list? We've got 3 so far that we concur.
So one of the very first things I make sure to do is make sure we have a first aid kit with all of the sundries. So that would be Tylenol, ibuprofen, Band-Aids, Gatorade. Gatorade packages are a must, especially if you're there for an all day. So a first aid kit that's paying attention to your nutritional needs too. So
Gotcha. And actually, I put down meds for the day. That you have that little day planner of those med things, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Just bring one of those. I'm going to tack on. No, go ahead.
and a first aid kit. That's meds, but first aid kit is like just in case you get dehydrated and
So put a
snacks. There you go.
And a con hack for meds is one of my friends told me a contact lens case. Because small, especially if you're cosplaying,
Yeah.
sometimes you need something very small to be able to fit into a very small space that you can carry. So contact lens cases are great for those little extra pills that you might need throughout the day, but you don't want to bring a whole big thingamabob.
So definitely, I would say number 5, we're sliding into food and water. But the thing is that some of these conventions, they're vicious. They're like, okay, let's open up your bag.
Learn how to smuggle.
I
Ever done that?
Yes.
But you don't know how many things I've smuggled in. I cosplayed Jessica Jones once, and I totally smuggled in an entire whiskey bottle with tea in it. Not whiskey. I'm not that bad. But, like, I stuck it, what was it? It was, like, in my pants, and it was through my shirt, but because I had the jacket over it, it was in the back, by the way. But, like, learn how to get creative with how you smuggle things in. That would be my
And the views and opinions of this show are not necessarily that of the show.
Those of your
There's
guests.
a reason I always cosplay criminals, okay?
Even though I'm kind of excited about this moment, we don't condone smuggling whiskey in your pants.
It wasn't whiskey. It was
Oh, what
tea.
it was?
It just looked like whiskey.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know,
if you see Jessica wearing.
Bottle.
in many circles, you can actually end that sentence as we don't condone smuggling. But in this case, we have to be very specific.
We do.
Yes.
If you see Jessica dressing up as Jessica Jones, just follow her around. She's got the booze.
I've got the booze. Yeah, I
She's
got,
got
the
the
whiskey.
That's just Jessica's supposed to have. Okay.
Sage, what would you add to my list?
Well, I did like with the first aid kit, and I always thought of Band-Aids, but safety pins. For some reason,
yeah.
I always need safety pins at a con, and I never used to carry them, and now I always have some in my pocket, which can be dangerous in case they come open. So
Can
one
I
of the
actually build up on your request, on your suggestion? I would say, especially if you're a cosplayer, emergency sewing kit. And that includes safety pins there.
that is true, but safety pins actually fit really nice in one of those little Altoid tins,
Uh-huh.
and then you can just put it in your pocket, and then you don't poke yourself with the safety pins.
Gotcha. So we'll kind of mix it up. We'll say safety kit because I meant as funny as it sounds. At certain hotels, you can actually go to the front desk and get a sewing kit and carry that around just to be on the safe side, just in case you're somebody who cosplays and unfortunately have one of those costumes that can just easily tear and rip. And I think also knowing where some of these newer larger conventions like MegaCon and SuperCon, they have places where they do first aid. They actually have volunteers that will cosplay med. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cause Hospital.
So definitely check out where those guys are at if you're wearing a costume that you think is going to break, or even just to know. That would be cool. So we're up to number 6. Garrett, what would you like to add to my list?
I actually think they covered most of what I had, which was to stay hydrated, so plenty of water or Gatorade to keep those electrolytes going and stay hydrated is important. I would remind everybody to do the very best you can to have a little extra cash for trying to eat right, because energy levels fall, and one cannot survive on hot dogs and hamburgers and the greasiest fries ever made on planet Earth.
I can.
Are you sure?
I'm fairly certain that it's not good for survival. It's good for.
Have you seen cosplay?
I was gonna say,
Well,
Michael might.
Yeah, I've seen cosplay Michael eat, so
I make him have fruit.
Yes, but some red fruit,
Yeah,
some
there you
fruit.
go, peanut butter crackers.
Yeah, something that's
Peanut
got
butter crackers, protein.
Oh, and
yeah,
cheese.
yeah.
I
So try
highly recommend nut packs with raisins or cranberry because
Yes.
they're
Look at you go, Jess.
trail mix, guys.
Yes.
That's Dina
a
brings.
great source of everything.
Yeah,
You can
Jessica,
see
I
other
got
thing
her
is
yet a fallout shelter.
hydration doesn't start on con day.
Yeah,
Because
no.
a lot of people are wearing like crazy costumes and everything like that, and I've heard a lot of people go, "Oh, I don't want to pee." Sorry if that's crude. Is that crude? I don't know.
No.
I don't want to go to the loo.
Not on this show. Not anymore.
A lot of people, they don't want to drink because of that, and a lot of them get dehydrated. But what a lot of people don't realize, if you haven't been an athlete, is hydration starts 2 to 3 days before. You want to be hydrating your muscles and your body at least 3 or 4 days before, especially if you're not wanting to drink so much that you will have to go. And that way, if you want to push the limits and not drink as much on con day, you still have the water reserve from the prior days already in your muscles and everything, and there's less likely for you to become dehydrated.
Right.
Stay away
Yeah.
from sodas. Anything caffeinated will suck
No
up any
caffeine.
hydration.
Yeah.
No caffeine and very low sodium, or at least keep it at natural sodium.
Well, what do you think? Energy drinks, I would say no, right? Because you
Not
just
at-
crash
Nope.
and burn.
Not
You'll
at all.
crash
You're good
and
for the
it'll
first
suck
5
any
minutes.
hydration you got.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Dina, I haven't heard from you. What would you add to my list? Because we're up to 6 stuff now.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yes. And
the-
Dina has said her
okay, well-
piece.
Oh, we'll get back to you, Dina, if we don't get another 4. How about that?
Okay.
Mackenzie, let's go back to you. What would you add to my list? We've got money. We've got plan your day. We've got cell phone and battery, first aid kit, food and water, sewing kit with pins.
Oh, I got comfortable
things-
shoes.
Oh,
That's what I was going to say. What comfortable shoes.
Yes, that was coming up. Definitely.
Or
And
at least
that's
to change into.
I made
And
a big
Player.
Right.
I made a big mistake by wearing flip flops one day, and that just never. Yeah, I could feel my feet hitting Australia. That's how bottom out they were. They really like ow 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 every step. So definitely comfortable shoes out there.
The feet are everything at your con.
Yes.
Without, there is no con for you. So you have to put that one in perspective.
Yes.
If anything, just keep a backup pair a backup pair of clothes in your bag or in your car, because you never know if you're going to get overheated. Like Jessica was saying, it happens so much, and your day oftentimes will go 3 hours longer than you expected, and then all of a sudden you have something else to do, and you can push your limits and make yourself sick. So definitely backup clothes somewhere.
Right.
And shoes, like you said. Oh, and emergency, I forgot to say that with the first aid.
No, you got, also, I'm just gonna. I don't know if I should put this on the list, but I mean, it only makes sense. A backpack. if you're going to carry all this stuff, you need something, especially if you're going to be cosplaying, if you're going to be moving around, if you got money, or if anything, you're going to be buying stuff at the conventions. Definitely, you're going to need a backpack to haul all this stuff in. So I'm going to write that down. Everybody's shaking their head yes on the backpack.
Mm-hmm.
So
or
McKin,
incorporating into a cosplay a bag of some sort.
right?
Yeah, whatever
And
works.
the other thing is planning a day that you carry a backpack. So if you're an avid cosplayer, a lot of times we'll say, this is the day that we're going to carry the backpack and do purchases. And that way, the other days we have the smaller bags that have our essentials that are incorporated within the cosplay. But then we have the one day that we're like, okay, this will be the day that I have to get all the autographs, get all of this. And this is the one day that we won't go completely screen accurate, you know, and have a backpack or something that day. So I know as a cosplayer that's planned. But if you're not cosplaying, bring a backpack.
I would also bring a backpack and make sure to pack lightly. I know people who fill that thing to the brim.
You have to go through security. Don't
Yeah.
put stuff in it.
Well, they put a lot of not only a lot of stuff in the potential if somebody goes through security and go, okay, you have to take that out, take that out, take that out. But I mean, you are toting this, and unless you are consuming stuff in it in some form or fashion, like drinking the water or eating stuff, that thing at the end of the day will be your living nightmare. At 9 a.m., it's wonderful because you got everything. At 9 p.m., you're still walking with this thing like a bowling ball attached to you, and you're like, God, you know, can I get rid of something? But you realize you filled it up to the brim. So backpack, just keep in mind how much stuff, what you really need at the time that you're going to those conventions there. So, Mackenzie, we got a couple more items that we need to fill it up. What else can you think of out of those more items? I actually do have a couple more things on my list that we haven't touched.
I would say for Wizard World specifically, because that's the one I do the most at, VIPs. Make sure if you're going to do more than, say, 2 actors, and they're the big actors, get those VIPs. It's essential.
Okay. I'm gonna put that with planning the day. And if you get the VIPs, go for it. I'm looking for like tangible stuff to carry with you. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do something, yeah, and you're gonna be a VIP or something like that. Just also back to planning your day. Know where you're going to, and I'm equating this. I think I said this earlier for our Twitch folks. The best way to think about this when going to a convention is think about planning your day at a theme park. Practically everything that you take to a theme park: comfortable shoes, a backpack, first aid kit, food and everything. You got to imagine you're going to spend at least 8 to 10 hours in this place. You paid a lot of money to come in here. You're going to have a lot of traffic. It's a lot of stress, a lot of tension. Take your time, relax, go sit down somewhere. Don't let it stress you out, because if you're not planning it in advance, you don't have everything in gear, it's going to be massive. It's going to be a cluster. It's going to be congestive. It's going to feel like you're not getting anything accomplished. If you can plan your day, or at least have a better idea, like Mackenzie said, if you're a VIP, you know, get that going for you there. It will save a lot of time, and it will save a lot of money. Speaking of which, folks, we're going to pay some bills. We're going to continue our list when we come back around after the advertisements. Thank you for continuing to listen to The Legend of the Traveling Tardis and become part of the legend.
The Right of Wands. One boy, one right. And a world of deadly secrets that
Or
could
with,
change the course
Dr.
of history
Who
forever.
Velocity
It's
thrown in
time
the middle.
for The Right of Wands by Mackenzie
Okay,
Floor.
thanks.
When a
What's-
horrible
what's-
fate
what's the
reveals
last
itself
one?
during
Last
the
one's
Right of
Cursed
Wands
Lands.
ceremony,
My lunch
Mirda
break.
must find a way to change his destiny. Forbidden
What time
from
do you go
revealing
back?
the future,
7?
he is granted a wand and magical powers
Go back
in
at
order to
7?
save himself
Okay.
and those he loves. But Mirda is not the only one with secrets.
Eat fast.
The Right of Wands by Mackenzie Floor, available on Amazon.com now.
Every year, tens of millions of people flock to Florida for its sunny beaches and world-famous tourist attractions. Most never learn about the strange and unusual locations just off the beaten path. From the UFOs of Gulf Breeze to Robert the Haunted Doll in Key West, learn about the myths, monsters, and legends from the dark side of the Sunshine State with author Mark Muncy and illustrator Carrie Schultz in their books Eerie Florida and Freaky Florida from the History Press. Find them at eerieflorida.com or wherever books are sold.
Hello, sweeties. I'm Crystal Moore. I play the Doctor in fan series Doctor Who Velocity. You're listening to The Legend of the Traveling Tardis radio show.
Now on Amazon.com. War Calls, Love Cries, a Civil War novel by Mark Berry. Isaac Wells is an innocent farm boy living in upstate New York. His dreams are shattered by a treacherous brother and the onset of a devastating civil war.
That's
War
that
Calls,
treacherous
Love
brother.
Cries is a fast-moving historical narrative. It is an emotional
Cheshire
rollercoaster
Cat.
ride and a riveting must-read book
Mackenzie's
that you will
cat.
think about and talk about for a long time to come. War Calls, Love Cries is the kind of book you will cherish for a lifetime. On Amazon.com today.
From some of today's best-selling, award-winning
Oh, we got
authors,
five?
from
Got my
22
cosplay, or
Page
my
Well,
Oh,
I said
I guess
four.
there were.
I said four with
She said it was.
that in the middle.
Through one doomed world
No, I'm not
after
complaining.
another
I just-
in
I-
a
I-
haunting
just
dystopian
caught me off
urban
guard.
fantasy.
That's all.
Join the
Don't worry.
courageous.
They pay,
as
we
they
play.
Battle for survival.
I got that.
Where they, vampires, angels, witches,
One
and
show's just
more
gonna be nothing
roam
but commercials.
freely.
Curselands is coming soon on Apple Books, Nah. Kobo, and Nook.
Everybody
Pre-order
wants
your
a
copy
sponsor.
for just 99
Here we go.
cents today.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. I am your host of this radio show. And joining with me, I've got Jessica, I've got Nisha, I've got Mackenzie, and I've got the Hanging With Web Show radio team, my buddies over there in the recording studio. We are continuing to do a list for you guys to give you some suggestions and advice about what to do, what to take, and what experiences you don't want to have and some experiences you do want to have when you're going to conventions. And we've got two more items on the list. Now, Sage just sent me a message. You have an item you want to add to my list. What is that item?
Actually, it's from a conversation that I had with Rick Stafford, who is known as the true Aquaman, especially because we've been talking about cosplay, and that is to remember to take a shower. And
Please. That is a
I know
plea.
that seems like it should be common sense, but everybody gets busy during the convention, and and then there are after parties, and you can barely get enough sleep. But always to remember to shower, especially if you're going to change costumes.
I actually have
We're
something.
not going to change costumes.
Or not.
Yeah,
Or not,
exactly.
yeah.
I love everybody who goes to conventions. I love everybody who comes to see us. I love everybody who endures our panels. But dear God, please, deodorant, some cologne, some body spray.
And please remember, everybody, body spray is not a shower.
No, that is true.
That's right.
Do not just keep coating it on.
It's not a shower either.
That's right.
Yes. No, that is not a shower either. The pool doesn't count.
The pool at the hotel does not count as a shower.
Oh, I don't know. There's
For
a lot of
some it
people who
does.
think that counts, though.
No.
It's smooth dip, guys.
As
If
someone
you really
who has been hugged by so many cosplayers, it does not count.
it counts, you just stink and smell of chlorine, really reeky chlorine.
Yeah.
And for you guys who really believe the commercials, no, if you put that Axe body spray on you and you stink to high hell, no, the girls are not going to be coming running to you. They're going to be running in the other direction. You will smell great with you will smell like the floor of a taxi cab. It's really not cool. You gotta shower, put on some deodorant, and this actually adds to my list, kind of. This is going to intertwine with it, and I didn't know if this is something that like tag to the first aid kit, but something like a refresher kit, meaning that cologne, deodorant, just body wash, gum,
A wash rag.
and that was actually on my list. Mints.
Yeah, I was going to say a hygiene kit.
Hygiene kit, yes, a hygiene kit.
Yeah.
And it's not that we don't love you people. It's just, you don't want to smell me at 9 p.m.
Hand
I don't
sanitizer.
smell him enough.
We don't want to refer to you as. You remember the smelly Deadpool?
Yes.
As opposed to the really cool Deadpool? No.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd rather be known as the really cool one, not the. Do you remember the one that really smelled?
Right.
Hey, make
Again,
sure
there's
you
a
have
big
hand
difference
sanitizer.
Between a cosplayer at 9 a.m. and a cosplayer that day who's not changed at 9 p.m. It's a huge smell difference, and you don't want to be that person that everybody's walking around to get away from and say, yeah, I'll hang out with you. I'll just be over here if you need me.
If you are a cosplayer and you don't have the ability to wash your cosplay and you're planning on wearing it more than one day, not only disinfectant spray, but also dryer sheets. If you rub those on them,
that's not bad.
not only does it take away static electricity from your hair if it's frizzy as well, but it can also really help freshen up a cosplay without you having to wash it in between.
I actually have one more item that I'm going to add, and this should complete the kit. And I'm taking my cue from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Bring a towel. Doesn't have to be the beach towel, but a face towel. You know, you're going to be sweating a lot. Bring a towel of some kind, just in case you have to wipe your hands. Also, who shouted out hand sanitizer? I think that was Nisha.
It was Dina.
Yeah, but no,
It was Dina. I'm sorry,
Dina,
Dina. Yeah.
Dina is part of the hygiene kit.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll make that part of the hygiene kit. So, everybody, we've got money, we've got plan your day, especially if you can afford VIP, go for it. Get your cell phones. Make sure you got tons of battery and a place, just in case there are no, your batteries die. Places you can plug it in, but just make sure you have plenty of power. It is going to be a long day. First aid kit, food and water if it's accessible. And I really think, if I'm not mistaken, if you have a low sugar content, they can't turn you away for the food, can they?
Yeah, if you say you have low blood sugar at any point in time, you can definitely bring in some crackers, because both I and my fiance, our blood sugar will drop like that, and like we have to have something immediately. So, and we always bring in crackers.
Gotcha.
Most places don't allow you to bring drinks.
So just so you know, because I do have, I mean, everyone knows I have a little bit of a disability. So when they're not allowed to discriminate against you in any way, shape, or form based on
Right.
disability. And if you need to have certain liquids, if you can only have certain fluids, only certain foods and snacks, etc., they have to let you in with it. They
Or if
really
you
do.
need food to take a pill.
Yeah.
Food on your stomach to take a medication as well.
Well,
Yeah,
that's right. Based on that, they can't. There are no laws that allow them to do that. It's a HIPAA violation. So I can tell you, if you're ever ready to talk that talk, I'll go over that one with you. I know I know disability at the cons. That's something I know.
Gotcha. And for everybody who's watching on Twitch, Jessica's making me very hungry right now, and I'm sure she brought enough for everybody in the studios.
Yeah.
Right.
We just have to go out there and get it from her. Yeah, exactly. We also have a sewing kit. We have comfortable shoes. I don't know if I think that's just, I don't want to say that's too much, but I think if you're just wearing them into the convention, I think that's just,
Or leave them in your car, but just have them.
Uh-huh.
yeah, just have them on standby. Backpack definitely to house all this stuff. A hygiene kit and a towel. So this completes our top 10 list of items that you should bring to conventions. But when this episode drops, if you want to give any more advice, or if you guys out there in the Hooniverse think we should be adding more to our list, go for it.
I think we're missing a big one, though.
What's that?
A sonic screwdriver or a vortex manipulator.
Definitely.
I
Definitely.
can't go anywhere without my vortex manipulator. Just saying. And I'll have a few doctors who disagree with me. But vortex manipulator, it saves you a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Gets you out. Motorbike in traffic.
Yeah, definitely. If I don't have my traveling TARDIS, people really go, okay, why are you here? You should go home, get your TARDIS, come back, and then we'll let you go to the convention and play around there. So, one of the I want people to understand mostly that, first of all, if you're going to be out there at the conventions, please take your time, be patient, don't rush things. Take it easy, take a breather. There's going to be a lot of people. You're surrounded by a lot of wonderful, happy, and germ-filled people who are out there. So take your time, get hydrated,
Smelly.
rest. Smelly, yes. Just take your time when you're going to these conventions, because if not, it's just like a theme park. By the end of the day, you've gone only on 3 rides and wonder what the rest of your day has been like. You want to enjoy the scene. And a good thing about what Mackenzie says, yes, if you plan your day out, you utilize your time out there. You know what you want. Check out the vendors. Check out who you're going to be signing. Make sure you plan out your day and plan. I think for the worst convention experience that I've had, and I won't say the convention because I like them very much, but I mean, they had 2 on the top floor of the convention. There was only 2 ways of getting in and out on an electric stairwell, and that was it. And one big show at the time was releasing as one big show was getting in. And it was just a nightmare because there was only two ways of getting in and out. And at some point, nobody was going up and down those escalators. It was that jam packed. And it was just a scary thought. Luckily, they've resolved this problem, but I just remember, my goodness, if anything should have happened, we were stuck. I didn't even think we moved for like 20 minutes getting out. We saw one show, and the other one was just loading up. Now, at the time, these two shows were at the zenith of popularity. But when you only have two escalators to get people in and out, I think it just wasn't planned well. And luckily, only people kind of griped. Nothing bad happened, but my goodness, it was just a nightmare there. Mackenzie, what is some suggestions that you want to give people? Any experiences that you've had that you're like, oh, I need to tell people, don't do this?
Yeah, one of the big things when it comes to guests is realize that things happen. You need to make a backup of whatever your plan is, even if you're using your cell phone for your schedule. I know some people were mentioning they just write down a list. Have a backup, and maybe even have a backup of that backup, because things happen.
Right.
You could have something like a plane being late, or an actor can't go last second and they cancel. So you got to have some type of, or maybe they're running super, super late. So now you're stuck in a photo op, but you're supposed to be in a panel at the same time. So you just got to have all that. That unfortunately, it's all happened to me.
Oh my goodness.
And be nice to the workers, because then they'll help you out in those situations. Of if you're stuck in a photo op and you're supposed to be at another signing or something like that. A lot of times, if you're nice to people, they'll do anything to help you out. But if you're rude to them, they're not going to help you. Being someone who's worked with people and has been in the situation where I needed people, the nicer you are, the more that people will bend over to help you. So please, because a lot of these people are volunteers.
And only that, it's that theme park mentality again. And they're cast members of a convention. They're dealing with thousands and thousands and thousands of people moving around, and they're trying to get everybody to queue up in this little thing that they've taped off. And they're trying their best to make it orderly and as safe as they can be for people while being efficient, so that you, the attendee, are get to what you need to do, what to do, and they try to make it for you. And if you're just on their face all the time, of which I've seen them, it's just like, come on, these guys, and most of them are volunteers. So yes, not only do I condone that these people will be nicer to you, but just be nice to them in general, because they are working their butts off. They're working their tails off to sometimes even to be a volunteer to do this, so that they can spend time going to the conventions. And in some cases, they don't even get that much time to go to the con there. Nisha, I want to talk about your experiences, but we've got a hard break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about our convention experiences. We've got our list now, folks. And please continue to listen to The Legend of the Traveling Tardis and become part of the legend.
Murder by the Gods from author William G. Collins is available today. Murder by the Gods is a mystery thriller set in the glorious past of ancient Egypt, when the son of the Scorpion King suddenly collapses after receiving a mysterious threat. The god Seth, the princess
It just occurred to me that I didn't do our
Murder by the
tags
Gods
and
is
categories.
filled with adventure
Okay,
and
you can go ahead and do it.
romance in a
You can do it right
kingdom
now.
that would become known as the land of the pharaohs. Murder by the Gods from author William
If you want
G.
to add that,
Collins
Mackenzie,
is
when we get back,
available
let me
on
hit Misha and
Amazon.com.
Jessica.
The Vandals has lost everything.
Oh, that's...
His parents
Oh, you gotta
murdered,
confirm?
his sister kidnapped, and the new village he called home
Nisha, you're leaving?
The Dragonia Empire is out of control, destroying anything and everything in their path, searching for the resistance. Devarius is left with no choice but to find
I think
the
Jessica
resistance,
jumped up
join
just so
them,
she could have a
and hope he
hamburger
can
or
help
something
them
without us
defeat
having
the
to see it.
Empire once and for all to bring peace to the land of Keldroga. Dragonia, Rise of the Wyverns.
I'm eating my
Dragonia
corn
Empire
snacks.
Volume
The last commercial is Pink Canary.
So, I
Yeah,
want to
Santa
tell you
Claus.
about my friends at Embellis Effects in Orlando, Florida. They've got makeup, costumes, and props.
Oh, there we
for all
go.
your
I did it.
costume needs. And
Awesome,
the
good job.
team at Embellis Effects is helpful and friendly. Embellis Effects is one of my favorite places.
I left my drink in the
and
other
I know
room.
it will be yours too. I'll see you there. Or go to embelliseffects.com. And remember, cosplay is for everyone.
Best-selling and award-winning
Best commercial
short
ever.
crime fiction, Yvonne Mason is back with a brand new book, The Pink Canary.
Someone's trying to kill me.
The life of a drag queen. This and all of Yvonne's other works on Amazon.com, or find Yvonne Mason on
that what you
Facebook
said?
and Twitter.
Here it comes.
He's gonna kill me.
Buy your copy of Pink Canary now.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to The Legend of the Traveling Tardis. My name is Christian Basil. For all of you joining us on Twitch or iHeartRadio or Krypton Radio or iTunes or wherever you're listening to us, thank you again. We're continuing our discussion and wrapping up our discussion about conventions, our stories, our information, our experiences, so that for those of you who may be going to conventions starting this year, we just want to get you ready, get you prepared to be safe and have a happy and wonderful experience time, just like anything that you would get out at Disney World or Universal or SeaWorld, any of these theme parks. If you get your stuff ready and you are prepared, you're going to have a wonderful time and be ready for anything else. If you're not, you're just going to have a dismal time. You're going to feel ill. You're just not going to have a great time as it should be. Nisha, tell us an experience that you had at the conventions that it wasn't so positive, and your experience, and tell people, what you recommend to make sure that doesn't happen.
A positive one. Okay.
Yep.
I was going to add something to the list, and I know this is going to sound funny, tangible or not, but a con buddy. Just put that on the list.
Con buddy?
Someone with you who can help you out, someone who's your spotter, who's your runner, and someone who actually knows the con scene. And even if they don't, one who's the other half of your planning. So there you go. I kept thinking, what else would I add?
Gotta have the wingman.
Oh yeah.
So
Gotta have the
con
wingman.
GPS,
Companion.
the companion. There we go. Companion.
Companion. Look at that. Ooh.
Nice.
We coined that phrase. There you go.
Dina, file the copyright on that right now.
I mean, you and I have been doing this quite a while, Christian.
Yep.
So I've had varying experiences in my life. I have had some difficult experiences being a woman in because there are times when I have to be in a motorized wheelchair, depending on how my, life happens to be on that day. And so it is extremely difficult, my friends, to be in a motorized wheelchair, to be conscientious of everyone around you and not to get knocked over, smacked into, and not to hit people if people around you don't pay attention.
Right.
There's what's called con courtesy. So I believe con courtesy is something that you should have prepared, and you have to have that etiquette before you go into it. Otherwise, you can have an experience where I've had it where because I can't get to where I need to enter to go to a panel, and they have not prepared for me to be able to get upstairs or go on a wheelchair, I get stuck. And that has happened to me. Even if I'm not in a chair, I've had times when I cannot go upstairs. So I will be like, hey, did you figure out another way for me to get up there? And the answer will be like, we didn't think of that. We're going to have to figure it out. The time to figure it out is not then.
Right, exactly.
Figure it out ahead of time. So us fans who, paid the time and the time and the money, yes, but and the effort to be there, give us the opportunity to be able to attend everything safely, with joy, and as a community. So for me, that's a very important thing. As the fan who's there, pay attention to the people who are there, who look like they're in a chair, etc. Be con courtesy, right? And for the people running the cons, on the other side of it, be courteous of those people who can't get easily to places, and think about that ahead of time. So that for me is an extremely important part of the picture. And just remember, running in front of a wheelchair is the most unsafe thing you can do.
For both parties, for you and for the person in the wheelchair.
Oh yes,
that's right.
I totally get it, because my dad, when I used to be able to take him to Disney, he had a motorized wheelchair, and literally he was a magnet. People would literally jump in front of him. I'm just like, you're not going to win. He is in literally a car that's going, and you will be run over. And I'm like, he will have no responsibility if you jump in front of him. Yeah, it's not only be mindful of people in in wheelchairs and such like that, but just be mindful of people. They're having a great time. The last thing they're doing is looking forward. They always walk in one direction, look in another, and they're probably heading in the direction that you're walking. Just be mindful and just kind of get out of the way.
I spoke to at Pensacon. There was a girl. She had a service dog, and I informed her, like, because the dog seemed scared when I finally saw the dog at the end of the night, and she was like, "Yeah, someone kept running into him and hitting them, like hit the service dog." Right,
exactly. And it's not cool, guys. Come on, I mean, really.
It's on courtesy. I think I'll write a book.
On that topic, Christian, can I throw something in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know Jessica will appreciate this, and it's one of the first things that Cosplay Michael learned when he got on there. If you're planning to go to a con and you're going to see some amazing things and some wonderful cosplay is not consent. So please make sure you stop a cosplayer, ask to take a picture. Cosplay Michael is there to take pictures with you. He wants to take pictures with you, but we want to know who you are as his parents, and we want to know what's going on. Jessica wants to know when her picture's been taken and where she's going to find it on Facebook. So take the minute to ask a cosplayer to take a picture. Don't just kind of snap and go and assume that it's okay, because it's not okay. And a lot of people come who are guests as cosplayers, and a lot of people come who are just having a good time in cosplaying, and they didn't really come to take pictures with you. So ask before you do that, and remember that as a part of your con courtesy, that some are cosplayers and some are people who came in costume, and you don't know which is which. So please ask.
Right, even though people are taking pictures all over the place, it is a nice courtesy to let the person know, regardless of what they're dressed up as, regardless of who they are, or regardless of what they're doing, take the time to just at least, hey, I want to get your picture. 99.9% of the time, all these people who come to the conventions, they're wonderful, they're nice, and they will pose for you in the best way they know how, because they want their pictures taken. That's why they dressed up in the first place, but they want to do it on their terms. They want to do it on their terms so they feel safe, and they acknowledge that you are taking their picture. Let me do something for you. If you want me to pose for something, go ahead and ask them. Not too weirdly, but
and spoiler, they might have a really cool prop that's hidden.
Exactly.
You never would have seen if you didn't ask, and that sometimes even makes the cosplay.
Exactly, like a bottle of whiskey in their pants.
That's right. You never know. You never know.
You never know. Maybe they had just gotten through and wasn't able to get the whiskey bottle out.
That's right. That's right. And I have one more thing, Christian, I wanted to throw in there, and just because, and especially with our panel tonight, you had mentioned early on the convention circuit as kind of a theme park. And remember, all those celebrity autographs, all those great things that you're going to get, those are the Space Mountains and the Splash Mountains. But don't miss the smaller rides. Hit those alleyways. Check out the Mackenzies and the Nishas and the Jessicas, because they are filling up artist alleys. They're filling up cosplay, communities, areas. And they're there for you, too. And you don't want to say, hey, I went to Disney World and I only rode Space Mountain. You want to go into a con and say, I got my autographs from these big celebrities, but I also met a great new author. I met a great cosplayer. I met a terrific, fan group, or, I really found out some things about this community. And don't miss those opportunities in favor of, eyes locked front. So when you're planning your convention experience, plan some time to go and see the Nishas and the Jessicas and all of the independent creators that are out there, because they're there for you, and we're there for you. That's why we go.
Mm-hmm. I will, if you don't mind, jump in and say to you, Garrett, perfect, because when you are going to something as monumental as San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con, this is not an experience that you can compare to Pensacon or even to MegaCon. Mm-hmm. It's two completely different worlds. They have built a world for you, and I mean a world. So you be prepared to visit what you can in that world. You can't visit the entire globe in 3 to 4 days, right? Mm-hmm. So think the same way when you go to something as big as that. choose wisely, find what fits for you, find what's safe for you, but enjoy the time. And you're so right, Garrett. Find the smaller things, because gosh, they usually end up being the best. They usually do.
Yes.
And Garrett, if I can add on top of that, don't be afraid to ask questions. And I think a lot of people, when they walk by the vendors, they're like, I don't want to talk about. Ask Mackenzie about her book. Ask her about what the story is. She will talk your ear off. Every author wants you to get their book, and they will be happy to let you were fantastic. Thanks, Chris.
She's been waiting for an hour to run that. Bam! She gotcha.
Well, we are at the. Yeah, I just want to let you all know you were fantastic. We are at the before we go moments. I'm just going to wrap this really up. Yes, please talk to the authors and make sure you talk. They will tell you about their books. They're not there. They're not stuck up. They want to, but you got to come to them. Talk to Nisha about her organization. Ask her what she does. It's going to be incredible the time that you spend with people who are there for their organizations and what wonderful things they do for the community. Ask Jessica about her cosplay. If you're not familiar with it, all the cosplayers are out there to geek out. So if you're not familiar with an anime cosplay, or if you're not familiar with what she's wearing, hey, Jessica, I just want to ask, who are you cosplaying? She'll tell you the novel, this book story, whether it be River Song, whether it be Jessica Jones with alcohol in her pants. They will be able to talk about
That's
it.
not going away.
You will have an experience
Not
more
anytime
than just
soon.
standing in a line waiting for your favorite celebrity. Yes, we are now at the just before we go, does anybody have any final thoughts before we go? Anything about the topic? Anything you want to just let people know about?
Just
Go to
have
conventions
fun.
and have fun.
Yes.
Yes. Also remember that if you're going for celebrities, remember they are people too. So they're going to have days when they might not be in a good mood.
Right.
Don't hold it against them. Or if they're super tired because their plane took 20 hours to get there. And so they're
Exactly. Oh my God, you're so right on that one.
And don't expect, even though when you get on Space Mountain, it's only 2 to 3 minute rides. And that might be the length of time that you get with a celebrity. If you think you're going to be there for 2 hours telling them about their whole life story and telling them your whole life story, it's not going to happen, because they're going to have a line that's a 2-hour wait to begin with, and it will probably be a 2 to 3 minute ride. It's not that they don't love you. It's not that they don't care. They come out to see you. It's because they got to get to everybody, and they only have a certain amount of time to do it. Mm-hmm. So from all of us here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, I'd sure I would speak for everybody. Please, when you go to convention, have fun, ask questions, enjoy everything, plan out your day, check out all the stuff, because you will have an experience. Not just you got on Space Mountain, but you got on the Hall of Presidents, you saw the Country Bear Jamboree, you went on Splash Mountain, you've done everything, and you will have a great, great time. And all these people are wonderful that they go to conventions. You should check them out over there. But as far as convention is concerned, we are going to be going to, I think, MegaCon, and I think we've already kind of declared DragonCon, if I'm not mistaken there, Garrett?
Yep, we are planning MegaCon, we are planning DragonCon. We have a lot of smaller conventions in between, and it's going to be a great season.
Yeah, so keep an eye out on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and the Hanging With Web Show Radio Hour, as well as both of our Facebooks and our Twitters. For more information about our conventions and upcoming appearances, check us out. Folks, thank you for joining us back in the Hooniverse, and always continue to listen and become part of the legend. That's everybody laughing.
You're having a dance party.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to let you know that you are fantastic.
That was nice.
Yes.
That was nice.
Look at everybody jamming.
I love it. This is awesome.
It really is.
This is fantastic. This is I love that we're doing this.
Yes. This was a good inaugural run.
A great inaugural run. And these guys are having a blast. That's awesome. So.
And I've learned something.
What's that, Nisha? Nisha's talking again.
Boom, boom, boom. Loving it. Oh, you got the whole octopus hand going over here. Oh,
it's a jellyfish.
Whatever. It's tentacled. And we're off on Spreaker, yeah. And guys, Awesome job.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, that's awesome. And we're still on Twitch here, guys. We're just letting everybody know what's going on. This was the inaugural run of the Hanging with Web Show's Twitch channel. We will be featuring. We will be featuring. Yeah, we will be featuring the Legend of the Traveling Tardis every week. We will be also featuring the Hanging with Web Show Radio Hour, the Indie Music Spotlight, and the Justice Watchtower live on Twitch every week. So come back over and over again. Wow,
That was
awesome.
fun.
It was fun.
That's it.
Guys, what do y'all think? Did y'all have a good time?
This was great.
This is amazing.
Awesome.
Be better dressed next time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Try not to eat next time.
Now we have fair warning. Oh, no, you can eat. That's okay.
We're going to
I'm
have.
just sitting here eating the whole time.
Wow, that is awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you to all of our panelists. And thank you, Christian, as the host of the Traveling TARDIS, for letting us experiment with your show first.
Thank you for guys being on, and I was experimenting to bring you in, and it was such an it was so much fun. I just have a quick question because I don't know if I'm going to get a chance. Are any of you three? I know Mackenzie's going to do both interviews. Are any of you two available for this Sunday? Saturday?
That's the composer.
The composer and Dr. Puppet. So we're literally having back-to-back interviews at noon and 1.
I maybe one only. I don't think I can do the second. I'm recording my own show, so.
No, that's fine. Just let me know so I know who is going to be on there because we're not gonna have the thing, so I'm going to be literally doing this from Skype recorder.
I can possibly be doing the same thing today and just take my lunch at noon. I can probably do the noon one.
Okay.
I gotta run.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys. All right, then. And,
Catch you next week.
Dina, go ahead and switch over to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS placard. That's camera B. And then, we'll say goodbye to everybody. And then as we do that.
Awesome.
Thank you. Great job, everybody. Amazing. And that was our first run on Twitch. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll keep doing it, guys. So thank you.
What I love about this is Jessica, if she holds still, I can actually get my mouse cursor up her nose.
And go to camera A.
Right up there?
Okay.
Or is it the other one?
What's that? It didn't matter. I was just going. There we go.
Awesome. Okay, guys.
Okay.
And then we'll say goodbye to Twitch. Bye, Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye.